What's up, guys? My name is Link Green. I'm from Plainfield, New Jersey. I've lived all across the world, but primarily from Plainfield, New Jersey. They call me Link Green the Chemist because of my love for science and my understanding of chemistry and the application of chemistry. So I decided to start a YouTube channel to talk to others about relationship issues, personal issues, mental, psychological, business, finances, everything that may affect us in our daily lives without us seeing on the surface how it really contributes to how we interact with others. So let's talk about the definition of chemistry, right? So I can explain to you why I've chosen the name Link Green the Chemist. The definition of chemistry is the branch of science that deals with the identification of the substances of which matter is composed and the investigation of their properties and the ways in which they interact, combine, and change, and the use of these processes to form new substances. The next definition is the complex emotional or psychological interaction between two people. So, chemistry can affect many different areas of our lives without us really recognizing it, right? Because we're all made of matter and we interact with one another. And when our energies combine, that may change the entire dynamic of our situation. Okay, so when you look at the second part of this definition, it talks about the use of those processes, right? Us interacting to form new substances. But what those substances basically are, the relationships that we have. And for a lot of us, those relationships are very volatile, they're tainted, we have a lot of trauma that comes behind that. So I wanna help myself and others, because I'm still going through things, right? Help us all to sort of grow and learn from each other and become better versions of ourselves. All right, so when we talk about the way that we interact with the people in our lives and those new substances that are formed, we've sort of created a condition for ourselves from the way that we've been brought up, the family members that we have and the interactions we have with them. And this condition has to be broken down to its very basic element. And again, what its very basic elements are our relationships with our parents, our grandparents, our siblings, cousins, whoever. Throughout our lives, we've developed certain coping mechanisms that make us who we are, but those coping mechanisms aren't always the best. They aren't always the most healthy. So I guess my goal is to help us all move forward from that. So why relationships, right? Because relationships are our first definitions of ourselves. They're the first thing that we receive from our families, whether it's being breastfed by our mothers, or skin-to-skin contact by our fathers, or being picked up when you fall and scrape your knee by your grandmother, or something completely different, something harmful if we've gone through trauma, and we all have gone through trauma. Because as I said, many of our relationships are tainted, and due to them being tainted, that's sort of bled over into our personal lives, our occupational lives, professional lives, the way we raise our children, the way we look at ourselves and we present ourselves. But primarily, I like to focus on men for a few reasons. And this is not to outcast, women, but we should be checking one another as men. And for me, this is more so about that. Now, I will have topics that are general, unisex, if you will, but for the most part, primarily, I would like to speak to men because I'm aware of some of the things that we don't speak about in public or speak about with women. I'm aware of some of the insecurities that we may exhibit and sort of project onto other people. And I would like to address those things so that we can be better men. That's my only objective. It's not to clout chase. I'm in a completely wonderful relationship. I'm not looking to chase any women or anything like that. But it's actually and genuinely to build us up as men so that we can love our children, ourselves, of course, and our women better, our families better, and be more progressive. So that's why we'll be speaking about not only interpersonal issues, emotional issues, psychological issues, but we will be speaking about finances. We will be speaking about, business. We will be speaking about those other things, metaphysics, spirituality, all of the things that affect us and can progress our lives. The number one reason for this is to progress. Another reason why my focus is going to be on men is because, the scapegoating of women through slut shaming and just the different factors that contribute to that. It's getting pretty old, right? Misogyny doesn't work. So I'm just asking us all to step back and take a look at ourselves and how we've contributed to the overall condition of both men and women. And to ask who's more at fault, whether it's more men or more women, right? It's like asking which came first, the chicken or the egg. We are both at fault for our miscommunications, our inability to love each other adequately, our inability to love ourselves. We're both at fault. But the only way to improve this is to take a step back and look at ourselves. The only way to do that is to create a condition or a dynamic, right, where we're comfortable with speaking about our issues and our problems. Because men go through insecurity. We go through suicidal ideation. We go through, body dysphoria. We go through all of those different things that we're not really able to speak about without being ostracized or made fun of. And I want to bring these topics to the forefront, to the table, so that we can all speak about them in a comfortable and, I guess, positive. I don't want to really say positive, but this is redundant, but progressive environment, right? I want us to be able to progress. It's the number one thing. So even though I feel like, or I understand that it's not our place as men to check women, unless those women are women who we're in a relationship with and their behavior immediately affects us, I would ask women, or we would ask women, to begin to check one another. Because if we're going to be expected to check each other, we would expect the same from you all, and we would expect that parallel level of support from both ends. Not women giving more than men or men giving more than women, but it's both staying in our lanes and making sure that we keep a straight line as far as it pertains to us making sure that we're right and exact in how we treat one another. So ultimately, our maladaptive behavior and way of thinking has affected us in every area of our lives, right? We're talking about chemistry here. So it's very important for us to move forward and to gain the quality of life that it is that we want. Because man or woman, whether you admit it or not, you want someone to love you. You want someone to love you for who you are, and for you all to be able to get into a gripe, get into a disagreement, but still be able to move forward as a couple. So in order for you to have the quality of life that you want, we're all going to have to break down these maladaptive ways of thinking that have hindered us so far and that are perpetuated. All the posts on social media about how we know someone's doing us wrong, or, all the things that reinforce this feeling of insecurity and that the other person is really trying to do us wrong. We have to really get away from that because it's perpetuated by everything that's around us. So that's what Precise Science with Link Green the Chemist is all about. It's about us presenting problems, right, or issues, and then giving a solution to those problems or issues that is not so much easy, but simple, right? We can do it effectively. And it's not anything that requires you to be a guru or non-human, immortal. Just being who we are and implementing small steps into our daily lives. And I will be inviting people on to the show to speak about their experiences. I will be giving you all references to different resources, everything and anything that will help you in your journey. Because ultimately, this is about you reaching your highest level of you, your highest level of success. So, topics. Our topics are going to be anything and anywhere from PTSD, post-traumatic stress disorder, depression, anxiety. Like I said, the money thing, because money is important and money contributes a lot to our emotional well-being, whether we like to admit it or not. We'll be talking about religion, and this is a judgment-free zone. Whatever your religion is, these will be strictly objective facts, okay? For or against whatever there's no such thing as good or bad in these discussions. We'll just be sticking to that precise science on whatever it is that we're talking about. Of course, relationships, business, professional branding, things like that. Anything and everything that may help you in your lives. So look, I'm doing this because I genuinely want to see us all grow. I want us to have happier lives. I'm even going to let you all peek into my personal life, invite my lady onto the show and allow her to tell you some of my maladaptive behaviors, because again, I'm not perfect. I'm still going through things, and this is a lot. This is really to teach me a lot about what I do that doesn't work, and it's about me wanting to grow. So I don't mind putting it all on the line and letting you all know, hey, I mess up too. Okay, so she will be on here to express her feelings, thoughts, and opinions about some of the maladaptive behaviors that I even act out. Alright, so look, there's going to be a lot of videos coming in the future, because I'm going to be taking examples from my own life and using those examples to help myself, but as well, hopefully help you. So if there's anything that you all would like to talk about, you'd like to see me talk about, let me know. Like, subscribe, share, of course, and put all of your comments in the comment section so I can get back to you all, and so that we can move forward with different videos. Again, there's a lot more coming. We're going to have a precise science for everything that it is that we may be going through, and I hope to see you soon.